Morning. Good morning. Thank you. Happy spring equinox. So I have the opportunity, really sweet opportunity. I don't know, do I tell you the whole story? Let me think. Maybe, because it's funny and I know it's being recorded. Yikes. So, I've been apprenticing with Robin Rose Bennett for 3 years now. I'm in clinic with her, which is incredible, incredible, incredible work. And when you watch her or you sign up to do some of her online studies, the last couple of times, and I have told her this in person, so I'm not saying anything I haven't said to her, she has some of her apprentices come on and into the online workshop. Maybe, I think the last one I did was winter solstice with her. And truth be known, I really don't want to listen to the apprentices. I just want to hear her. That's just the way it goes, And the apprentices are lovely, and I know some of them, and they're truly lovely. But when they start talking, I'm like, blah, 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 let Robin talk again. Because, I just want to have her pour out her wisdom. And again, nothing against the apprentices. So the reason this is so funny is because a couple of weeks ago, Robin asked me to be the person who's going blah, blah, blah. And the other people on the other end are like, Sheryl, just shut the hell up. We just want to hear Robin. And I took me a moment to think about, do I really want to do this? And I was going to say no. And then I decided what a gift and an honor to be asked to be a part of her spring equinox. So if you want to join us, and you will not be like, Sheryl, shut the hell up. You'll be like, God, look at her. She's so sweet and beautiful. That's what you'll be saying. It's tomorrow night at 6:30. You just have to go to robinrosebennett.com to sign up for it. And it will be beautiful. I have sat with the other apprentices. There's 2 other apprentices. Kate, do you know her? Kate is amazing. Kate Ballou. She and I apprenticed for the last couple of years together. She was in my circle. I was in her circle. I'm not anymore. But yes, and Amanda. And so Amanda will be doing a little movement. Kate will be giving you the most beautiful poetry. She's a poet, an incredible poet. And I will be doing a fire ceremony. So the reason I'm telling you all this is because Robin asked us, what animal would you be for the spring equinox? And I was like, I've never had that question asked before. Like, what a great animal would I be? Would you be a creepy crawly? Would you be a 4-legged? Would you be a winged one? And I honestly kind of want you guys all to answer. Like, what would you be? And instantly I said, I want to be a winged one. I always want to be a winged one. And then I had a moment where I thought, oh, am I allowed to be a winged one? Because what I'm offering is fire. Whereas Robin is offering air, and Kate is earth, and Amanda, hello, is water. And so the minute I said it, Robin said to me, oh, you can be the phoenix. Now, I'm sorry, I've never heard of the phoenix. Like everybody in the world, please don't be embarrassed if you're my son and you're like, why does she never heard of the phoenix before? I don't know why, but I didn't. And so I am so thrilled to be the phoenix. And this is what I wanted to read to you about the phoenix. If you do not know, or maybe you do know, but what a perfect offering to be during spring equinox. So in the still of the night, just before sunrise, a magnificent creature builds its nest. You stop and watch as it carefully puts each spice, the clove, the cinnamon, and the branches that lay before it in place with meticulous detail. And as you stand and watch, you're struck by the tiredness of the creature. It's very evident that it's old, though it's no way taken away from its beauty. The sun begins to rise and the bird begins to stretch, and its feathers are beautiful hue of gold and red, the phoenix. It cranes its head back as it sings the most haunting and beautiful melody that actually stops the sun in his tracks. And a spark falls from the heavens and ignites a great fire that consumes both the bird and the nest. But don't worry, the phoenix will rise from the ashes and be born again. And I'll read more about this, but this is what's happening during the spring equinox as we have this time of rebirth. And I was thinking a lot about it, that the idea of dying during this time doesn't mean that something was bad and has to go. And because I've been teaching a lot on this idea of letting go. And often I think for myself, letting go to me seems like something I'm ready to get rid of, something I'm ready to let go of. But then I started to go back into the idea of what happens when, the trees let go. It's not because there's something bad, that there's something they have to get rid of. It's just part of the cycle. So rebirth is part of that cycle of whatever we're letting go isn't necessarily something bad, it's something beautiful. It's something amazing, it's something unique, and just the idea of releasing it back so the earth will transform it into something again usable. And the idea of the phoenix, and again I'm going to read some more about it, is that it lived in paradise. This is a bird that lived in paradise. And so it was over 1,000 years old. And it just said, the time is up. It's time for me to let go. So it had to come into this human form. It had to come over the bridge from paradise into a place where that it could let go and then be reborn. So go ahead and close your eyes. The idea of fire ceremony is swaha. We offer into the sacred flame whatever we're releasing. And we know that the fire will always hold the space for us to find what it is, our passions, our purpose. And the next part of this, with your eyes closed, is I want you to think about breathing down from the crown of your head, down into your heart, down into your belly. There's often this idea of rising up to our higher centers. But because we're in this human body, I want you to breathe down into your belly, to that gut. And that being that abode, that place where so much magic happens. Take a moment or two here, just breathing in and breathing out. What animal are you for this spring equinox? This time of rebirth. Every day is a rebirth, the sunrise, and every day is a death, the sunset. And when we allow ourselves to connect with the rhythms, that rise and that fall, that connection to birth and death. And this is the week 4 years ago that my mom and dad passed within 8 days of each other. And it just occurred to me that they passed at the spring equinox. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Inhale for the sound of Om, deep breath in. Release your hands, open your eyes. Inhale your arms out and up. Interlace your palms and press straight up. Relax. Relax those shoulders, look left and right. Good, and then allow yourself to turn to the right. Let your left hand come onto your right knee, right fingertips behind you. Sit tall, pull the navel in. And then sweep your right arm over you're still holding on, left hand to right knee, side stretch. And push your right ribs up a little bit more, pull your navel in and go a little deeper. Come on up. Inhale both arms up to the sky, interlace your palms, stretch up. Maybe let your thumb touch your thumb and your pinky touch your pinky and turn your head side to side. Twisting to the left, right hand on your left knee. Left hand behind your back. One fingertips on the floor. There you go. And then sweep your left arm up and over. Press into your left ribs. Pull the navel in and go a little deeper. And come all the way back up. Bring your other shin in front. So change your cross of your legs. And then wrap your left elbow on top of your right elbow. And do little circles here. Garudasana. Keep breathing down into your belly, into your gut. And then draw those elbows up. And then release and take the right elbow on top and little circles here. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then sweep those elbows up. And really sweep the arms out and up. Just like wings, and then release the arms back down. Good, come onto your hands and knees and press back into child's pose. In through the nose and out through the nose. The more we connect the natural rhythms of nature. When we push against those natural rhythms for whatever reason, often there is a feeling within our bodies, within our minds, disease. Walk your upper body to the right side of the mat. Go to the other side. That idea of drawing down your mind into your gut, place of intuition. Which way do I go? What path do I take? The mind is very powerful, but it gets a little confused. Back to center, come onto your hands and knees. Let's do a little cat and cow here. Breathe in and breathe out. Maybe do some hip circles as well. So there definitely is an invitation to clear the gut, to depend on it as an intuition, go in the opposite direction. We were talking the other day, Josh, Allison, and myself, about doing a dessert cleanse. Downward facing dog. I mean, our desserts are pretty clean, you know, good, healthy desserts, but yeah, maybe. You find that place where you rest in your feet and you rest in your hands. And then everything in between finds that place that ignites, right? That fire energy ignites. And take a slow walk, feet to hands. Bowing, standing forward bend. Let your seat drop just a little bit. Take your arms forward and up into chair. Nice hand. Thanks, Elena, and rise all the way up, taking a hold of that left wrist and pulling to the right. Rising up and switching sides. And coming back to center, clasping your hands behind your back, shrug your shoulders towards your ears, draw your rib cage in, take a breath in and bow forward, take the arms up and over any amount. Straightening the legs, press the tops of your thighs back to straight. Don't let the knees press back, more of the thighs press back. Good, release the arms down. Stepping your left leg back behind you, bring both hands inside your right knee, bent right knee. Walking your hands to the upper left-hand corner of your mat, maybe dissolving down to your elbows. Keep pressing your sit bones back and wide, so there's this sensation of pressing back as if almost you were in down dog. The hips are lifting that high, but then you're dissolving through the front of your spine. Tacking that right hip crease back, lifting through that low belly. And just spending the time listening, deep listening here. And if you have your elbows on the floor, straighten your arms and walk to the left so you come to the center of your mat. Prasarita Padottanasana. Turn your feet so they parallel each other and bow. Here, it's really powerful and smart to look at how much you're dropping into your heels. So find your weight even on your heels and on your toes. Maybe even lift up onto your tippy toes for a moment. Try to keep your hips that high, nice Lisa, and then lower your heels down by keeping your hips as high as they are right now. Nice, Roz. Finding your breath here. Good, and then hands on your hips. Press down to your legs. Rise up to stand. Turning your right toes to the front of the mat. And Virabhadrasana 2. Take the arms up just a little higher. Let's actually take the arms all the way up to the sky. Take a hold of your right wrist and pull to the back of the mat as you send your right knee forward. Good, lowering your right forearm onto your right thigh. Take your left arm over your ear, side angle. Beautiful, everybody. Drop your hands down to the floor and step back downward facing dog. Move through a vinyasa if you'd like, or stay right where you are. We are in full moon, my friends. Activating that light of the full moon, fullness, Purnam of ourselves. Left foot forward, please. Both hands inside. Walk your hands to the upper right-hand corner of your mat and either dissolve to your elbows or stay with straight arms. But think about moving your hips back, sending your hips back. So your weight isn't all forward. That's it, Pam, nice. Wow, beautiful, Nancy. Just noticing what feels stable and what feels a little vulnerable. Whatever we choose to let go of can be something that has not served us now, absolutely. It can also be something that has a natural death. We don't have to be so dramatic about everything. Walk yourself back and walk to the right. They say don't be so dramatic when the fire alarm goes off. And a deep bow. Again, find your way even on your feet. Maybe even come up to those tippy toes again and try that same, lifting the hips as high as they'll go. And lowering the heels, placing your hands on your hips, rising all the way up to stand. Turning your left toes forward for Virabhadrasana 2. Reaching your arms up to the sky, taking hold of your front wrist, pull to the back of your mat. And then drop your left forearm on your left side, take your right arm over your ear. Or left, whichever side, whatever side you're on. Push into that back leg just for a moment. Lift it, lift it, lift it. Good. Release your hands down to the floor and step back downward facing dog. Once again, take it through vinyasa choice or none at all. Beautiful. Nice, Allison. Good. Stepping your right foot forward when you're ready. Take your left foot in just enough so both legs will go straight. Parsvottanasana. Make sure your left foot is out to the left, not directly behind your right heel. Lift up onto your right heel for a moment. Dig the heel down, pull it back. And then lower the foot back down and relax the foot as you bow over that right leg. Blocks underneath your hands if you need them. Tack that right hip crease back. Phoenix. Phoenix. Concern is life and death, creation, destruction. Phoenix was known to be a very majestic bird creature that lived in paradise. Like all creatures that live in paradise, was known to live a good life. Nothing that had to end because there was something bad. But in this land of perfection and beauty, it was time the bird felt. It was aged to 1,000 years old. It was time to move on. The only way that he could do that was to leave paradise. Go ahead and change legs. Left foot forward, right leg back. Come on up to that left heel, dig it down, draw it back. Lift your left low belly a lot and then let that left foot come down to the floor and relax. Head to fly to the mortal world. Only way it could be reborn. And it stopped to get fresh herbs, especially cinnamon. It started to build its nest. In the morning, when the sun god began to drag his chariot across the sky, the phoenix would turn east to face him as the sun rose above the horizon, and it would sing the most haunting melody that made the sun stop to listen. Step to the front of your mat. Bend your knees deeply, reach your arms forward and up the chair. And then just lift your left foot slightly off the floor, left foot slightly off the floor, as if it was still on the floor. And then take the left knee on top of the right knee and the right elbow on top of the left Garudasana. It is said the phoenix actually is a bit like the mythology around Garudasana, the eagle pose. There you go, Susan. And then fly away. Sit back into chair. Lift the opposite foot up just a little bit. Right foot lifts up just a little. And then send the knee on top of the knee, right knee on top of left knee, left elbow on top of right. Squeeze those shins toward each other, pull that navel in, soften your gaze. An eagle is our great vision that we see in all angles, not just one. Rise up, fly away. Inhale your arms to the sky, interlace your palms and press straight up once again. And just take a side stretch over to the right. And then over to the left. Come back to center, take your hands behind your back, but this is the awkward hand hold. So the other thumb weaves in first, shrug your shoulders towards your ears, and then clasping your hands behind your back, feet point straight ahead, bow forward as you're ready. Relax your hands down to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank pose. Lower all the way down to your belly. Come up to Sphinx Pose. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. Slide your right arm underneath your left arm, like you're threading the needle. Keep your feet wide as you roll over onto your right side. Left arm comes behind you. Let that left hip lift as high as it can, right on top of that right hip, so you can get that left shoulder to the floor behind you, stretching your shoulders. Keep your feet wide. When the phoenix finished its farewell song, the sun god readied his chariot and continued his journey across the sky. And this caused a spark to fall from the sky and ignite the nest of herbs and the phoenix into flames. All that was left was a tiny worm. This, however, was not the end of the cycle. After 3 days, a new phoenix would rise from the ashes, supposedly transformed from the worm, and begin the next cycle of 1,000 years. It would carry the remaining ashes of its parent to the great island of paradise until the cycle would come to an end. You get very, me, all of us get very interested in what it means to die while we're still living, to let go, or to even rebirth. How many incarnations do we have in one lifetime? Many, many, many. Come on back on arms. We'll switch, we'll do the other side. So sliding that left arm underneath. I don't really have to tell you what to do, you're already there. Keep that right hip nice and high. Stretch out those wings. Breathe deeply. Breathe down into your gut. I've been joking a lot about these are our last few days. We're at like the beginning of a race at the line, and we're ready for, that gun or whatever it is. Stay ready, set, go. Springtime is here. We get very excited when springtime is here. As a green witch, I get very excited. Every little pop-up of every little green that's coming out of my garden. Super excited. And it's like, it's no more of that going into the cave and staying into that snuggly warm place. Now we're ready to run. Come on up back into Sphinx Pose. So we take those moments that we're relaxing as very important still. I'm going to tuck your toes under, lift your hips up so you're in a forearm. Fine. Good. Now, right here, turn your right forearm slightly in, draw your right shoulder blade on your back, and stack your left leg on top of your right leg. Bring your left arm up to the sky. And then take your left arm and scoop it all the way underneath your right rib cage. Tuck your chin in, pull in, and then pull it all the way up again. One more time, scoop it in, pull it in. Beautiful. Next time you reach your left arm up to the sky, just pull it over your ear and stretch your side body nice and long. And then let your left forearm come back down. Beautiful. And we'll change sides. We're going to slide that left forearm and shoulder blade on back. Super important. Stacking your right leg on top of your left. You can always drop a knee or step the top foot behind you if you need it. And then squeeze that rib cage in as you pull that arm down. And then inhale, lift it up. No big deal. Squeeze it in one more time. Next time you reach that arm up to the sky, pull it over your ear, get it long. And then drop it back down to the floor. And then press back into child's pose. So as we drop into the abdomen, this is from Earth Speaks by Pamela Cribe. To help you connect with your center, she says our center is that place, our abdomen is that place of the soul. We can think of it many different ways, but this is just an interesting way to have a conversation. She says, I suggest you imagine an animal that represents your inner power residing in your abdomen. Take the first animal that comes to your mind. Remember, animals are very spontaneous creatures and they live in their instincts, their natural flexes. The animal reflects your inner instinctual knowingness. It's already there, it's waiting for you. What animal would you be? A creepy crawly, four-legged, winged one? Come on up to your hands and knees, and we will thread the needle this time, so right arm reaches up. And then slide it underneath your left. Right ear to the mat, and your left leg can stretch out behind you if you'd like. Your left arm can stretch out over you if you'd like. This is your animal medicine. What comes to mind for you? Come on up and switch sides. Beautiful, everybody. Keep breathing deeply. Lift through that armpit. Feel that hollowing of the armpit. Sweet. Come on up, downward facing dog. Nice job, everybody. Nice Roz. Nice Anne. Yeah. Inhaling your right leg back and up behind you, down dog split. Stepping your right foot forward, please. Lower your left knee down to the mat. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Now I'm going to suggest a thigh stretch here. I'm going to suggest you reach your left hand back for your left ankle and your right hand back for your left ankle. Or keep your arms up to the sky. So if reaching back for that ankle does not work for you today, or you would choose not to, that's cool. Make sure the knee is not directly underneath the hip, so move it back just a little bit more. Good. If you have your hands on the ankle, both hands, start to pull the foot back, stretching the shoulders, lift the chest. Keep sending your knee forward. Try not to twist here. Try not to get it where that one hip is twisting. Beautiful. And gently release. Jump switch or step switch to the other side, left knees forward. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Anjaneyasana. Super beautiful. And then either reaching back for the ankle or staying right where you are. And if you want to reach back with both hands, draw that foot back, open up those shoulders, pull your throat back, lean back. And as you're leaning back, keep sending your knee forward. And gently release. Good, step to the front of the mat, standing forward bend. Hands on your hips, push down through your legs, rise up to stand. Once you arrive, close your eyes just for a moment and feel. Trijanasana. So you're going to reach your left hand back for your left ankle here or use a strap. Right arm up to the sky. I'm going to take the inner armpit and the outer elbow back just a little bit more and then pull your throat back. And then kick your foot into your hand and start to lean forward and up. Dance of Shiva, the dance of our life. What we let go of is not necessarily something we don't want any longer. It's a natural cycle. Come on up. Release. Let's try the second side. Make sure you keep breathing through this. Good. Outer armpit, inner elbow back a little faster, opening up, stretching that side body, leaning forward, leaning from the heart, pulling through the navel, kicking that foot right into your hand. And gently release. Beautiful. Bring your feet together here. Sit back into chair. Bring your hands to your heart center. Prayer twist to the right. Left elbow hooks over that right knee. Tack your left hip crease back. And then if you'd like to look down to the floor, keep the hook and send your left leg back to a Virabhadrasana 3. Left leg off the floor, Or stay right where you are. Send that leg back up into your twisted chair. And then inhale your arms up to the sky. Straighten those legs, take a baby back, then reach up and back. Bend your knees deeply, sit back into chair and prayer twist to the other side. Right elbow hooks over that left knee. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Your legs are squeezing toward each other. Look down to the floor if you want to go a little bit deeper and send that right leg behind you, balancing. Left leg off, right leg off the floor. Bring that foot all the way up front to meet. Bring your hands down to the floor, standing forward bend. Open and close your mouth. Inhale, look forward. Send your left foot back, not too far, both legs straight. Parsvottanasana. Good, now either leave your left hand where it is or walk your left hand over to the right side, to your right foot. We'll do twisting triangle here, so right arm comes to the sky. And again, just imagine wings, like a big openness. Lean into your front foot and then lean into your back foot. And then bring the right hand down, sweep your body forward so the left leg reaches up to the sky for Ardha Chandrasana. Twisted, revolved Ardha Chandrasana. Take that right arm up to the sky. Back leg lifts up off the floor and maybe reach back for that ankle. Maybe stay exactly where you are. Gentle release to downward facing dog. And take it through vinyasa of choice or none at all. As you feel ready, your left foot's going to step forward. Right foot comes in just a little bit so both legs can be straight. Parsvottanasana, bowing over your left leg. And again, just feeling that weight equally distributed from your back foot and to your back foot and your front foot. You choose the twisting triangle, whether your right hand stays where it is or it moves over towards your left foot. Left arm comes to the sky. Keep pressing our sit bones back, squeeze our spine. This is also a time of great spring cleaning in the body as well. Taking that left hand down, moving forward onto your left foot, raising up your right leg, revolved Ardha Chandrasana, left arm to the sky. And then maybe reaching back to that ankle or staying where you are. Beautiful work, everybody. Keep breathing. Gently stepping back, downward facing dog. Rock stars, you are all rock stars. Good, roll forward to plank, lower down to your belly and turn your cheek to the side and rest. The beauty and the cooperation between the head, heart, and abdomen reminds you that one is not better than the other. Rather, it's a balance and cooperation of the wholeness of you. Your head is for one reason, right? Communication, many other things. Experiencing joy, emotions, the beautiful gift that comes down deeper into your heart, the I-ness that comes down into your belly. Interaction between the head, heart, and belly. This book is Pamela Cribe. She's channeling Earth. She's channeling messages from Mother Earth. Mother Earth is reminding us to use our bodies, embracing our own nature. Experiencing the greatness of what we are, who we are. So this time of spring equinox, of letting go for rebirth. What is naturally falling away? And what is it that we have to request? Maybe not, you just see. Go through the conversation with yourself. Turn your cheek to the other side. I don't want to go too far into it. I have mentioned before that I did have the incredible gift of watching my mom pass, and just watching how the body takes its specific rituals to release was absolutely magnificent to be a part of. See that release, see what the body does, how it switches from living to dying. Wow. Bring your forehead to the mat, reach back through your ankles. Of course, I'm using today as this opening of those shoulders because of wings and because I want to be a phoenix. I'm having you all be a phoenix today too. Reach back and lift up into bow pose, but use this more as a shoulder stretch. Pull back. I know you realize whatever I do, you do too, even if it's just for a moment. And then as you release down, I want you to take a moment back in child's pose. And then I want you to come on up to your knees and prepare for camel. And we'll also do the same kind of a shoulder stretch, right? So push down through your knees, lift up through your chest, draw your ribs in, and then you could tuck your toes under or keep your feet flat. Make sure your shins are drawing in And then reach back for your ankles and take this as a very big lift of the shoulders. Now, if your hands don't touch down to your feet, that's it. Beautiful. Put your hands on your low back. Beautiful. And then as you release, take it into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhaling the right leg back and up behind you, down dog split, and then sending your right knee forward for pigeon. Squeeze your knees toward each other. Please lay on your back if that's more for you today. Nice, Allison. Squeezing your knees toward each other, and then walk yourself forward onto your forehead, keeping the action in your legs. I, of course, did Google pictures of the Phoenix. We ended up printing out a beautiful picture of being like inflamed, but still there. Knowing that the flames, they help. That's why fire ceremony is so magical. It really is an invitation and a ritual to offer to the flame. Whatever it is, whether it's gratitude for those that have walked before us, whether it's that which we're ready to get rid of, or whether it's that which we are ready to embark on and become. The fire will help us in all of that. And it's really great because the traditional Vedic fire ceremonies are done with cow dung and ghee. And guess what? We do have that in our house. You're not surprised. I have to tell you, specifically because I've been to India quite a few times, it just reminds me of being in India or up at the ashram, that cow dung and ghee smell. Transports me back. You can stay here, or you can walk up and take your right hand back for your left ankle. Again, it's a thigh stretch, but I'm looking at it as a shoulder stretch. And if you want to do even something more, reach both hands back for that ankle and pull that ankle back as you lift your chest. You got to squeeze your knees in to do this, though. Your knees have to pull in if you're going to reach back for both. And pull your foot away from you, lift your chest a lot. Really stunning, beautiful. Release gently, downward facing dog. Awesome. Thanks for vinyasa if you'd like. And we're going to take it to pigeon on the second side. Left leg back and up behind you, and then send the left knee forward for pigeon, or lie on your back if that's for you. Squeeze the knees in and then lower down to your forehead. Also nice sometimes to put your forehead on a block. Breathe into your core. Breathe into your instinct, intuition. What animal are you? And if you'd like to stay here, you can, or you can come up for the twisting thigh stretch, or come up for the full, both hands on your ankle. Or you can even just place a hand at your sacrum and twist, which is nice too. You're good. Good. Gently release. Remember, don't fling out of it. And then slide your right leg forward and on top of your left knee. So right knee on top of left knee. Right knee on top of left knee. Gomukhasana. You might want to spread your butt back a little bit more. I don't know. Is that a nice way to say it? Spread your butt? Maybe not. Send your butt back a little bit more. And if you feel completely comfortable here, walk yourself forward. Otherwise, stay upright. And if your knee on top of knee doesn't feel good, do shin in front of shin, right shin in front of left shin. As you walk back up, keep the legs where they are. Just take the arms over the top of your head. Hold opposite elbows. Squeeze. Feel the opposite elbows, not only pulling away, but drawing toward each other. Lift up through the crown of the head. Pull in through the rib cage. Good. Releasing the hands back down and then switch other knee on top or other shin in front. Take a moment. Make your seat as comfortable as it can, as even, as balanced as it can. And then walking yourself forward any amount. Yeah, Lisa, exactly. A prop underneath your seat is very valuable to some of us. That works, Allison. Beautiful. I love that. As you walk yourself back up again, opposite elbows overhead. Lift up, pull in. And releasing the arms back down. Unwind your legs, stretch both legs out in front of you. Maybe shake the legs a little bit. And then bend your right knee, coming into Janu Shirshasana. Bend your right knee, let your right knee fall out to the side. Make sure your hips push back, sit bones move back, pelvis is nice and neutral. And then bow over that extended leg, please. Your exhales get just a little bit longer here. Slowly rise. I like to pause for just a minute here to feel and then switch sides. Navel moves towards that extended leg. And deeply bow. Nice man. Nice man. Yep. Nice, Serena. Beautiful. Guiding that navel in and rising back up, pausing. Give you an opportunity to go upside down here. Legs up the wall, hands stand, shoulders stand. And if you're like, I'm not doing an inversion, then come type into the chat box the animal that you're going to be, or let me know in here, and I'll type it into the chat box so everyone else will see it. Who is your animal of choice? I want to know. Winged one. Creepy crawly. And if for some reason an animal popped into your head and you're like, I don't know why that one, make sure you look up its medicine after class. Oh, I love that morale. Yeah. Yesterday, Neil and I went to the beach with the 2 doggies, and there was, I come to understand that our minds are so funny because I assume they were dolphins, and Neil's like, no, they're seals. I just assume anything that's jumping out of the water is a dolphin. Like, that's just as far as my mind goes. But they were seals. They were so sweet. But yeah, dolphins for sure. Magical, magical, magical. One more minute here. We are bringing lots of wonderful things here to be sent over to Ukraine. Have any donations, please do. I just got a text message from our beautiful student who is initiating this, and she said that our first drop off made it there yesterday, and now we're 100% sure it's the right place to drop off for more first aid items. So all first aid items is what we're collecting. Finishing up wherever you are in your inversion. Maybe that means come into child's pose for a moment. Or maybe lie on your back, roll your head side to side. Then find yourself coming back up to a seated cross-legged position. And I really like this. It's interesting. It's just the Gurumukhi word such, which translates truth. true now, it's true in the beginning, it's true forever. It's that truth that never changes. And so we're going to say it like a snake, and it goes like this. It's like that. So we're emphasizing the S and the ch. And for me, if I do this for about 11 minutes, we're not. But if you do it for a longer period of time by yourself at home, some of you are at home, but do it longer. For me, I just feel this vibrating the cells of my body. So let's try it. You can bring your thumb and first finger to touch if you'd like. Let's that. 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 Last one. That. Moving into that vibration. You could stay here, come down to lie on your back. Shavasana. So gently begin to deepen your breath. Allow your body to stretch and yawn in any way that serves well. If you're lying on your back, hug your knees into your chest, roll to the right side, and come on up to sit. Bring your hands together at your heart center like a flame. Inhale for the sound of Om. Sliding your hands to the face between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much. Please, please, please take a look at Natural Yoga website to see all the upcoming. I know Angela's doing tapping. I know Gurnat from Thailand is coming back to do yoga for resilience. We have a lot coming up. So check it out. Check it out. Happy spring equinox.